Singapore, that was the previous race, the last race we did last weekend. What I can say about Singapore? Not much to say, but it was surprising in the end. Let's talk later on. This is the race start. Let me put the... Okay, I'm on the back of the grid, but qualifying could be better. I ruined my last lap, and the consequences was that I started in last place. I will be in this part of the track, in this row, on the inside line. So this is the race start. I started on soft, but cars start very well, to be honest. I almost crashed here. I almost crashed in the back of the Sauber. I touched it a bit even. I will show you later on. But the race start was good by my part, but all cars start very well the race. I was able to pass. I had the chance here to pass the RB and the Haas, but I was blocked by the Sauber, and in that way I had to brake to don't crash into him, and I maintained the last place, unfortunately. From that, well, this is some replays of the start. Let me check it, and I want to show you something that is very interesting and makes the game very interesting as well. Look at this camera. This is the camera from my front wing, and you will realize if I touch the rear, the back of the Sauber or not. Look at that. Pay attention to the very end part of my nose here in this part, and you can see. Pay attention before and after the little touch. It's very interesting, guys. Did you saw? I break just a little bit this part. It's really tiny, the touch, super little touch, but I'm impressed by the graphics of this game and the physics. You can see how just this little touch break just a little bit the front wing. No, I had no idea when I crashed on live. I didn't receive any kind of message from my engineer about that I broke my front wing, because it's just so little that it doesn't affect to the performance. But it's really nice. When I saw that on the camera, I was really impressed because of the of the graphics of the game. It's a very good touch. We continue, guys. After that, guys, after the start, I had no pace. In the first stint, I had pace. I was not so far away from the pack. Here is, I don't know if it's lap 15 or 16. I stopped in lap 21. I tried to stop as late as possible. We have minutes of rain. We have rain expected at the end of the race, but I thought it will come because in Belgium we have rain. We were expecting rain at the end of the race in Belgium, and it didn't came. And I thought it will be the same here, but at the end it was raining. So my idea was to extend the stint on these tires as much as possible, but it was the soft, so I cannot extend so much. But my idea was to stop in lap 20 or something like that, or 19, and I was able to extend the stint in 2 or 3 laps more. But yeah, guys, I had not the pace at all. In this first stint, I was able to stay just behind these cars, but I suffered to maintain the pace. I had to drive very aggressive to maintain the pace of the chain of the pack, and to stay not too far away from the Sauber. That was the next car. I was between 2 and 1-2 seconds behind. Here you can see as people start to stop. I was able to extend the pit stop a bit more, and this is the lap I was entering the pits. After that, I put a new set of softs. Okay, this is the pit stop. Okay, let's advance. And this is the second stint, guys. The second stint on the new soft was terrible for me. I don't know why. I lost a lot of performance comparison to the AI. In the first stint, I was able to more or less stay on the same pace. But in the second stint, as you can see, I undercut some people, the Sauber, for example, of Bottas. And as you will be able to see or to watch, in this stint, they were much quicker than me. And at this point, Bottas have I think they also have as well a new softs, but it's just one or I had younger softs than Bottas, but as you can see, it's much quicker than me in this stint. Much quicker. I was trying to hold it up, but I don't know why I was so slow on these softs than in comparison to my first stint with the same tires, the same compounds, another soft. As you can see, it was not able at all to pull away. Sauber was really close to me every lap. Super difficult to maintain behind these cars, and I was losing ground as well with the cars in front. Not too much, but you know, it was very difficult to drive with this car so close. And as you can see here, it will pass me by the outside. I even didn't defend. It was so fast that it was no chance for me. It was really quick. Well, that was Joe, and this is another Sauber. I think this is Bottas. Sorry, I undercut both Saubers, and some laps later, another Sauber, the other Sauber passed me easy. So yeah, no pace at all in comparison. On the same compounds and them on soft. Well, this is the replay of the move. Another replay, and this is okay, this is later on. I think at this point, guys, this is Verstappen, the race leader. At this point, I changed to the medium tire. I undercut once again a Sauber. Or two, I don't remember. I think it's Bottas. And now I on mediums. On mediums, I have to say that my pace came alive for some reason. And at this point, I'm maintaining the same pace as Verstappen. Verstappen lapped me, but I was able to maintain the same pace because he was on old tires and I was on new tires. I had the pace enough to stay just behind and use the DRS. And I had Bottas behind this time, but obviously I was just ahead of Bottas. The rest of the cars were ahead of me. But at this point, I was gaining a lot of time to the cars in front that were waiting for the rain to stop, you know. At this point, rain came. I stopped before Bottas to try to maintain the place with him. And I was the first, I think, to change to wet tires. I had a very good call and a very good feeling of the track, and I did a good perception of the weather, of the track conditions. And when I feel the lack of grip was enough, I stopped for inter tires. And this is Bottas once again. Fortunately, I stopped before him and I was able to maintain the place. And this is obviously the first laps on wet, and the rain was terrible. The grip felt so poor. The AI cars were so fast that it was not easy to maintain behind Bottas. All the final part of the race with the rain. Yeah, AI cars were like 1 second faster than me per lap. Fortunately, the DRS was not activated. I could defend in the straight line. But the last 10 laps was like that. All the time being pressured by Bottas with rain, and rain intensity was increasing. You can see now how the track is completely wet now. Probably this is for wet tires condition, but obviously with only 3 or 4 laps to go, you stop is useless, you know. It's stupid to stop now. But as you can see now, the track is really wet. Heavy rain, super difficult conditions to drive here on a street circuit. And this is basically my laps were like that, like this. Maintain Bottas behind as much as possible. As I said, it was really quick. You look at how close he is all the time. It's super difficult to maintain him behind. Let's advance a bit. This is the final 2 laps, I think. Well, this is Bottas changing me. Terrible, difficult conditions. Look at that, how close he is. This is the final lap. A lot of spray now, a lot of water on track. And this is the final corners. And finally, I was in P17, maintaining Bottas behind and finishing the race in P17. More than 20 seconds behind the next car, that was Hülkenberg. So that means I had no pace at all. But at least I finished the race. But the final surprise is that for some reason that I don't understand, I was disqualified. I realized after the race, you can see in the stream on the stream. You can watch the stream replay here on the YouTube channel. After the race, I realized I was disqualified. Being honest, no idea why. I checked the race direction notes. I hadn't any penalty. I let pass Verstappen when I was lap. I didn't receive any kind of warning for corner cutting by the engineers. But it's true that later on, remembering the race, I remember weird things that happened during the race. For example, when I was stopping every lap, you have like a blue panel on the middle of the track, a digital blue panel. That is like a kind of mark to understand when you have to press the button to do a good pit stop, you know. And in this race, for some reason, the panel was not there, was not showing. And also, when I was lapped by Verstappen, I didn't receive any kind of warning by that. I mean, any kind of instruction by the race engineer, and even in my dash, I had no blue flags at all. It's like my car was not existing in the race. And remembering that, maybe I had the feeling it was a complete glitch of the game and I was disqualified. And remembering even more, I remember in the Spa-Francorchamps race in this game, after the race I was screen recording some highlights of the race, and I was checking the lap times, and in the last lap I remember Lando Norris was at the very back of the grid. I don't know if he finished P13 or 14, I don't remember. And once we finished the race, Lando Norris was disqualified suddenly, without reason as well. So I think this is a kind of glitch this game have, and randomly disqualify some cars for no reason. And I think this time happened to me. Fortunately, it happened here and not in Belgium or Netherlands, where I scored a lot of points and I did an amazing races. Fortunately, it was here. That was a race that I finished almost last without pace in any moment. But yeah, fortunately as well, I received the points for my ratings as I finished the race. So this is something I will talk with you later. So after Singapore, what I can say, I'm very happy to finally get out of the street circuits. This game, I'm being so bad in the street circuits. Only one to go, that is Vegas, but we have a couple of races before. But yeah, in the street circuits I'm suffering a lot this year. Finally, we back to the normal tracks, and we are here in Austin. That is, wow, this track is super fun to drive here, super fun. And in sprint format, we will have two races. So first of all, the track analysis. This is the start finish line very early in the after the last corner. Very technical circuit, guys. Very different three sectors, super different three sectors. The first one is really technical, really fast. The first corner is so difficult because this is a massive uphill, massive uphill, even I think more than Aarhus, where the apex is absolutely invisible, especially if you are driving on the cockpit cam, as I'm doing. It's invisible. You cannot see the apex until you reach the peak of the climb. And this is about practice a lot. It's about practice a lot where you have to start turning. It's about prediction more than see or try to find some reference to turn in to the left. I do it by prediction, by breaking memory. That is something a bit complex to explain maybe, but it's really difficult, this corner to take. From turn 1 to turn I almost moved the graphic. From turn to turn 6, there is all this first sector. What I can say, it's an amazing section. This is flat out. Turn 2, 3, 4 and 5 in qualifying is flat out. In race I'm not sure, but even being flat out, you have to be so precise placing the car in the apex and don't touching too much the bumps, because you can stabilize the car and you will crash. And this is very high speed corners. Even I remember in sprint race I crashed last season in the last game because I think I touched a lot one of the curves and I spun and I crashed. But this is about to be very precise in very high speed, but it's really nice. This 6th corner, turn 6 is you have to back off a bit. Even don't touch the brakes. It's just about to downshift, I think 1 gear or 2, to stick to the right side and to accelerate at the exit, to place the car for turn 7, that is sector 2, to the right side. A bit blind this apex as well. It's in a downhill, and the apex is here, is a bit blind in the cockpit view. This is about also prediction, turning prediction sometimes. And it's absolutely crucial in all this section to touch the apexes in all corners to gain time. Turn 8 is an uphill. It's similar to turn 6, but it's a bit slower. It's about to stick in the inside line. I like to open the light a bit at the beginning and to closing it little by little, touching the curve and preparing the car to cut the apex as much as you can in turn 9, and using the exit. Be careful here, you have grass. You have to be on the limit but without touching the grass or you will spin. Then turn 10 is flat out. Turn 11, crucial, super slow corner, but the apex is a bit blind as well in the cockpit views. This track is difficult to find the apexes, but here the traction is crucial. Brake in the proper way, be a bit conservative, don't try to be very aggressive on the braking, because the exit is more important than the entry, because you have only this long straight where in race you will have to pass people, and in qualifying you will lose a lot of time if you don't exit from 11 with good traction and in the right line, you know. Turn 12, complex as well, very hard braking point. The apex is also here, you have to touch it, very slow corner, so it's very difficult sometimes to brake in the right way and to stop the car as it should be. Once you pass this corner, we move on to the sector 3. The sector 3 is about mechanical grip and about traction, very technical as well, but it's completely different to sector 1. It's about the slow speed. Turn 13, move as much as you can, use the outside, the left side to close the line at the end, and once you touch the apex in 13, open up a bit the line and once again close it to take turn 14. This corner is very important to complete this section, because the traction here is on the limit. You have to be very cautious with the foot on the throttle and to wait until the right moment or you will spin. Here the rears overheat a lot. And we move on to one of the most difficult corners of the track. Is turn 15. This is a double apex corner, but you have to take it by the outside all the time. In qualifying, in race, the story changes completely in case you are attacking some car or defending. But in qualifying, it's about to maintain the outside line in every moment, and just in the last moment to close the line a lot, touch the apex, and once again exit to gain traction to go through this section 16, 17 and 18. That is in qualifying flat out, I think. In race maybe not, but super difficult corner as well. It's similar to the turn 8 of the Turkish Grand Prix, but maybe some of you are very young and you don't have idea about what I'm talking about. But basically this corner is about to in qualifying flat out, but touching the inside lines all the time, touching the apex here in 17 and 18 as well, and open wide in the line at the end. And in race it's about to play with the with the throttle pedal. So, but it's very technical. And 19, we go to 19, probably with 15 for me the most difficult corner of the track, because once again the apex is blind, absolutely blind if you are driving in the cockpit view. It's about prediction as well. You have to do a lot of laps to try to predict the moment you have to turn in, to touch the apex and to use the outside. Be careful, because here is very easy to have a penalty because of track limits, because the curve is very wide. You can use it, but it's very easy to put 4 wheels out of the wide line, so be careful with that. And you are ready to accelerate a bit and prepare the car for the last corner. And it's very important because the start finish line is really early in the after the last corner, so touch the apex and open the line as much as possible to gain traction as soon as possible, to cross the start finish line as soon as possible. So very technical circuit, guys, really fun to drive, one of my favorite corners tracks. So yeah, I mean, it's nice, very nice. Now I think it's time, guys, to see the weekend, to start the weekend here in the United States Grand Prix. Let me drink a bit of water and let's start. As you can see, we have a lot of days in advance time before the next Grand Prix. And let's check the all upgrades we have ready. As you can see, there are a lot of upgrades in the way. Let's see if We can complete every single one, advancing the time. Okay, complete energy store, complete air schooling. Now the resource points. Also complete the improved energy store cell, fantastic. Also complete the control electronics, improved materials, more resource points, and more resource points.
Okay, mate,
Fantastic.
I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but I'm afraid to say that some of them have failed quality control. We're going to need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Which one? Because we saw every upgrade was past the control test. I don't know why. Let's check it later on, but I thought every upgrade was passed successfully. Anyway, move on. Specialist of the weekend. This weekend, the manufacturing expert and wind tunnel engineer are not available, so let's start with power unit consultant. We are in level 1, 380 points of 1500. We need to reach level 2. We are far away, but let's try to keep improving. Goals available for the weekend: achieve 4 purple sectors during a race weekend, or achieve a position of 11th or better in qualifying. Includes spring qualifying. So I think this one is much easier than achieve 4 purple sectors. In material fabrication planner, we have 1000 points, exactly 1000 points left. 500, so we are close to reach level 2. Goals available: receive fewer than 2 corner cutting warnings penalty during the race weekend, or complete 12 laps during a race weekend, in and out laps not included. Let's put this one just in case I receive some penalties. In quality assurance tester, we have 1220 points. We are very close to reach level 2. Goals: spend over 50 seconds in 50 years during a race weekend, or leave and goes for 30 seconds or more during a race weekend. Okay, let's put this one. That's very easy. 50 years, 15 seconds. And finally, the strategy analyst. We reached level 2. We reached level 2 recently. That means we have practice program resource points rewards increased by 60%. We can receive much more points now for completing programs. That's nice. Goals available for the weekend: complete the race strategy practice program on 2 different tire types, or complete a driven lap in 3 different sessions. This weekend we only have 1 practice session, so it will be too difficult to complete this program on 2 different tires. No time enough, so let's complete this one. And this time I will set as primary specialist to material fabrication planner. Let's see if in that way we can reach level 2. And now driver details, guys. Fortunately this weekend we even increase a bit our ranking or rating in 1 point. We are in 71, because despite to be disqualified, the points I achieved by different targets were scored. So fortunately the disqualification led me to keep adding points to my rating. That's nice. Oh, sorry. Accolades, well, this is some targets we can reach, but I think the only possible will be the 50 championship points, and even it will be difficult because the rest of the accolades won't be possible to reach this season. Our rivals, guys, I have to say, Alex did an incredible race in Singapore, scoring 2 more points, finishing in 9th. Now he's 3 points ahead of me, and in qualifying and race I was beat by Alex. In qualifying I've been destroyed, and in race, unfortunately, after some races he increased the gap a bit in 4. Just only 6 races to go. That means I have to beat him in every single race from now if I want to be ahead of Alex in race result at the end of the session. So no more margin for me. I need to beat Alex, especially in race. And now in my rivalry with Gasly, I still winning. But Gasly scored points in Singapore as well, so now the gap is only 6 points. We need 27 to win this rivalry. Let's see if here we can reach points. We have 2 possibilities, in sprint and in race. I think this track can be good for us. So let's see if we can do it. And so let's continue. And in the rating graphs, fortunately, as I said, I complete the race, and my experience graph increased a bit after 2 races in a row where I was retired in Italy and Azerbaijan. The race graph, the blue line affected by overtakes and your finish position compared to starting position. Unfortunately, I started and I finished in the same. I finished in 17. I started in 20, but with the disqualification, the game assumed that I finished in last, so I did not gain points. In the orange line, there is awareness, gained through clean races and reduced by collisions of track moments and DNF. Fortunately, very clean race, no touches, no warnings, no nothing. I gain a bit of awareness, pace, reflex speed in qualifying and margin to fastest lap in race. I was disqualified, but I think I had some points with the margin of the fastest lap. So, but in the graph, don't seems that I increase a bit the graph. And focus reflects form in qualifying and race results versus taking vehicle in performance. In this case, yeah, I finished 17, but last because I was disqualified. My focus, this car actually is the 6th fastest, is ready for finishing in P12 and 11th. As you can see, the focus since Netherlands, wow, is decreasing a bit. So let's see. Finally, these last 6 races, I can increase my focus. That definitely is my weaknesses in this game. It's really low, only 61. Racing comparison, and move to the R&D, guys. Let's see which parts are failed, because I didn't realize in the graph before that some parts failed. Let's see the data, and don't seem that we have failed anything. So let's see what fails. To be honest, I don't know what failed. In aerodynamics, is everything okay? In chassis, I think it's everything okay. I mean, and in powertrain, okay, this is what fails. It's front Albon, the reshaped combustion chamber. This is the piece that failed. Let's see if Albon decides to reinvest it into it. But obviously, with the upgrade we have, most of the upgrades we have achieved this weekend are in this section in durability, and only I think this is what I improve this weekend. I think an Albon complete this one. That means we have 2 interesting upgrades in chassis for this track. That is a track where a good chassis is very good for. It's a very good news. So let's see where we are now. And only we have this weekend 761 points. From now, the durability area, I won't improve anything else, because as I said before in the last Grand Prix, I decided to use an extra energy store, and in that way we are covered for the rest of the season. We won't have problem anymore about reliability. We have power units enough, we have components enough in good shape for the next 6 races, so no problems in that regard. From now I will focus my efforts in the rest of the sections. That is about performance. With 761 points, let's see what we can improve. In aerodynamic, anything, because the only thing we can improve is the redesigned brake ducts, and it's expensive than the points I have. So nothing to do here. In chassis, we can improve the engine cover or the hydraulics, and I think no, the engine cover is not possible, or the tire analytics data, or the heat damper. The heat damper we have no points enough. We can improve 3 different sections, and in powertrain, no points for this, and nothing more. So basically, this weekend only we can improve the engine cover distribution, the hydraulics, or the tire analytics data. The tire analytics data is minor upgrade, and basically this improves the tire wear, I think, for better life span of the tires. The engine cover distribution is a minor upgrade that improves the weight distribution, and the hydraulics is a major upgrade that is developing Albon. So that means I cannot develop this upgrade. and what it does is better weight distribution as well. So basically we can improve or the tire analytics data or the engine cover. I could keep increasing or improving the engine cover to lose a bit of weight, but I think that will be very interesting upgrade to try to increase the lifespan of the tires for next races. It could be very interesting for race strategy. So I think this weekend I will improve this area. Let's try to rush and to have this upgrade before Mexico. And I think it's a very good upgrade, guys. Very, very good upgrade. In that way, if we are able to develop this section, we will reach McLaren in the chassis area. So that could be very interesting. Look at Haas, the amazing chassis they have, and Aston Martin. Wow. So let's spend the points this weekend on this upgrade that I think is very interesting, guys. I think it's really interesting. So done. This is the only thing we can do. That means this weekend we have this upgrade for the 23 October after this Grand Prix. Let's see if we can develop it. Albon also have this upgrade, I think, after the United States Grand Prix, the engine power intercooler. The intercooler. The vehicle, guys, from now in, this is a spring weekend. That means only we have one practice session available, so I won't use all engine components. I prefer to running on practice with the same unit I will use for the rest of the weekend to have better data and to understand where we are. So I will use exactly the same components I use in race in Singapore. We are really well covered, as I said. We are using a new energy store. That means this was the only piece I was penalized the last Grand Prix for exceeding the units. We only have 2 for the season, but from now, fortunately, I think I will use the second unit just in case this weekend. In practice, this is the only thing I will use, and after the practice I will change to the third one, because as I said, the rest of the components are really good, in a good shape. So let's continue running on that. And now the tire allocation, guys. Here we are using the C4, C3 and C2, a step harder than we have in Azerbaijan and Singapore. This track is really demanding for tires. It's like Silverstone, for example. A lot of fast speed corners, especially the first sector, destroy the tires. And the first sector destroy the front tires, and the third sector destroy the rear. So, wow, this track is really demanding. So I think in race should be interesting to have an extra medium set. So let's see if it's possible. And for the sprint race, I think the ideal tire should be the medium. So I think the ideal strategy for me today should be to use the harder tire allocation, because in that way I think I will have an extra set of hard also for the race, and yeah, I think in that way we will have a much better allocation for the race. The problem of this combination is that for practice I only have soft tires, and that's a handicap, to be honest, because I really want to use the medium for the sprint, but if I use this allocation, the balance, I can have a medium, 2 sets of medium for race, but the problem is that I will use the first on a sprint, and I will have a hard tire for P1, for practice 1. But as I said, I think the sprint race should be better to have medium tires. So yeah, I think I will use the harder, sacrificing the tires in practice 1. I will use only soft, but I think this is the best option, guys. I think this is the best option for race. So let's see. This is my bets, guys, here on this weekend. And now the standings, guys. As I said, well, Verstappen is world champion. Alonso once again another podium. Aston Martin is developing the car really well in my career mode, not as in real life. Leclerc, that was third, still in third in the championship. Nice battle for second place between Alonso and Leclerc. Perez fourth, then Sainz, Norris, Russell, Hamilton. Hamilton and Russell very close in the standings all the season long, only 3 points difference. Piastri, then Stroll, and after Stroll our league. Albon, you can see 9th place, now increase the gap with me on 3 points. Let's see if we can cut points this weekend finally. Tsunoda also, and Gasly DNF. Gasly DNF. He scored points in Azerbaijan, not in Singapore. And I was disqualified, so basically our fight with Tsunoda is still in the same place. 1 point ahead of Tsunoda now. And then Ricciardo, Magnussen, Bottas, Ocon, Joe, and Hülkenberg are really far away. Here our battle is between Gasly and Albon. Is our battle for P11 in the standings at the end of the season. This is our target, guys. And in the standings, thanks to Alex, we have 2 points more, and our gap with RB is increased in 20 points. So I think in constructors we are very safe in the 6th place. That's the target. Our target now is focusing try to beat Alex at the end of the season. 3 points difference now. Let's see what we can do this weekend. And let's see if we finally end this terrible streak we have since Monza. 2 DNF and 1 disqualification. The last official race we finished was in Zandvoort, where we finished in 6th place. Let's see finally from Texas in Austin to Abu Dhabi. We finished all races, and I hope to finish in points in at least in most of these races. I think it's possible. Brazil is a track where I always been competitive. Let's see Qatar. Last year I was very competitive. I did not score points, but I had chances. In Austin, in Texas, I really competitive as well. Mexico is a track that should fit very well for our car. So in the last 6 races, I think we have big chances to score great results. And the stats of the season: more than 10,000 kilometers driven. And more than 1,600 laps driven. Amazing. My average grid down a bit now in 15th place after the best results I achieved in the last qualifying sessions. It's in 15 in race and qualifying. Let's try to improve a bit. And that's that's everything, guys. Now let's advance, and it's time for the weekend. But remember, where? On Twitch. In 19 minutes I will be racing on Twitch, the first practice session and the sprint qualifying in the evening, so don't miss it, guys. Super interesting weekend, super interesting track. But I almost forgot, this is not the end of the stream. We have to go to the weekend. Oh, sorry for that, guys. Sorry for that, it's not the end. We have to see the weather forecast as well. That is very important, weather forecast, guys. The last 2 weekends, previous weekend, we had rain at some point. So let's see if finally we have a clean weekend in terms of weather. Here it's possible to have rain, but let's see if we have a dry weekend or a wet weekend. Let's see, that's important also for the tire allocation. Let's see if our strategy will be worth enough or not. Depend of the weather conditions. So let's see. Okay, and yes, I think clean weekend, no rain at all. Nice message. We have 2 hards, 4 mediums, 6 soft for the weekend. And this is my engineer. Morning everyone. As you know, we had some our development comes through, however not everything passed quality control. Danny Alexander will need you to confirm the redevelopment on URLD screens. Everyone else are without anything that affects you individually. Well, anyway, you can see how many upgrades we have now for this weekend. And the weather forecast, guys, a bit cloudy, no rain at all. Perfect. I prefer these conditions, to be honest. And finally, let's check where we are in the development race. well, this is the regulation changes, but as I said before, that's not affects to me because I only play one season in my career mode. The next season I will be in the next game, so we have to do nothing with these parts. And let's see, now we're still in 6th place, but it looks that Alpine has done a big step. Now they pass Sauber, but as you can see in the graphic, we are just in the middle between ahead of the Alpine, Sauber, Bisha, Kashab and Haas, and far away from the top 15. So we are just in the middle point of the graphic. That means we have the sixth fastest car. Obviously, if someone of the top 15s fail, we should to be right there to pick up the pieces, you know, and let's see if we can do something great there. So now is everything done. The practice one is ready, and this is the strategy programs we have to complete. Only 60 minutes to complete the program, so it will be a very busy session. I will have to do a lot of laps. Don't miss it, guys. Available on Twitch in 16 minutes. So stay there. I waiting for you there on Twitch. Follow me here on YouTube as well. Subscribe and follow me on Twitch. See you guys. Thank you so much for watching this stream. Thank you so much for your support as always, and see you in 16 minutes on the practice one of the United States Grand Prix.